Think about the last time your dad drove you somewhere. Not a trip, not a vacation, not a milestone. Just one of the ordinary ones. The kind that happened without planning because he was there, you needed to get somewhere, and of course he drove. Maybe you were a teenager in the passenger seat, window down, radio on low, something he picked, something you pretended not to care about. Maybe it was more recent. He insisted on taking you to the airport, even though it was out of his way, even though you told him you'd just get an Uber. Maybe it was a Sunday years ago, and on the way home you talked about nothing in particular. You got where you were going. You got out. You said thanks, or maybe you didn't, because it didn't occur to you that you had to. And he drove away. Neither of you knew that was the last time. There's something I want you to sit with before this video is over. Most of us have never let ourselves think about it in the last ordinary ride. The last time he was behind the wheel, and you were just there, in the passenger seat, belonging to each other without having to try. By the time we're done here, you'll understand exactly why that moment carries more weight than you've ever given it credit for. And you'll know what's still left to do about it. Here's what we tell ourselves. He's fine. He still drives. There's time. And maybe there is. Maybe for you, the last ride hasn't happened yet. Maybe he still offers, still insists, still calls himself your personal airport shuttle with just a little pride in his voice. We hold on to that. We use it as evidence that we haven't missed anything yet. But here's what no one tells you. And this is the part that quietly changes everything about how you see the time you still have. The last time is never announced. It doesn't come with a warning. It doesn't look different from the other times. It arrives looking like an ordinary Tuesday, and it ends the same way all the other rides ended. You got out, you went inside, he drove away, nothing ended, he was fine, you'd be back. And yet, think about what your dad was actually doing every time he drove you somewhere. On the surface, logistics, getting you from point A to point B. But look at it again. Every time he put the key in the ignition with you in that seat, something else was happening. Something he probably couldn't have said out loud because men of his generation rarely could. He was saying, I'm here. This is what I do. I get you where you need to go. For many fathers, the car is one of the only places where love becomes simple. There's a direction, a destination, a windshield to look at instead of each other, and in that side-by-side silence, things got said that never quite found their way into a real conversation. The advice he gave about your job, circling back to it 3 times, never quite landing it the way he meant. The question about your life that came out a little sideways. The way he turned the radio down when you went quiet, not asking, just noticing. You didn't call any of that love, but it was. And now, somewhere between then and now, the drives got fewer. The distance between them got longer. The last one is either already behind you or somewhere in the near distance, close enough to almost see. When did you last let your dad be the one driving? Not you at the wheel, not you navigating, him taking you somewhere the way he used to. Here's something most adult children never see coming because by the time they notice, it's already been happening for years. The radius shrinks. Your dad used to drive everywhere, highways, unfamiliar cities, long stretches across places he'd never been. He didn't think about it, he just went. That was part of who he was. A man who could get anywhere. And then, slowly, the territory changed. Not all at once. Quietly, the long highway drives got rarer, then the nighttime driving, then the unfamiliar routes. The things he used to do without thinking started requiring thought. He doesn't complain about this. He adapts. He says he prefers the local roads now, that the highway isn't worth the trouble, that traffic's gotten worse. And all of that is probably true, but underneath it, his world is physically contracting. The car that once meant freedom, the ability to go, to fetch, to deliver, to be useful, it's slowly changing what it means. One day there will be a conversation in your family about whether he should still be driving. It will be careful. Nobody will quite say what they mean. Maybe that conversation hasn't happened yet. Maybe it has. And it sits between you unfinished either way. The drives you have now, the ones where he's still behind the wheel, still navigating, still taking the shortcut he's known for 30 years, those are not unlimited. Every one of them is closer to the last than the one before it was. There's a quiet kind of loss that no one prepares you for. Grief researchers call it ambiguous loss, the loss of things that don't have funerals. Nobody dies, nothing is announced. One day something just stops happening. The last time he drove you to school, the last time he picked you up late from somewhere without asking why, the last time he took you to the airport and waited at the curb until you were through the doors, even though you told him he didn't have to. You didn't mourn those moments when they ended. Nothing was over, he was fine. You'd see him again, but those specific versions of being his, that particular form of closeness, the in-the-car kind, the side-by-side kind, They ended without a closing sentence. The last time your mom rocked you to sleep, the last time your dad carried you on his shoulders, and the last time either of them tucked you in. There was a last time for all of it, and for most of them, that last time is already behind you. This isn't meant to leave you with grief. That's not where this needs to go, because here's what's also true right now today. There are still rides left. Maybe not many, maybe more than you think, but there are some. And you have something now that you didn't have then. You know what you're holding when you're in that passenger seat. You know that the radio and the silence and the nothing in particular and the exit he knows by heart, all of it is made of something finite, something made of days you still have, but won't always have. So the next time he offers to drive, let him. Don't say you'll get an Uber. Don't take the wheel yourself to make it easier. Don't tell him it's too far. Let him drive. Sit in that seat. Watch his hands on the wheel and the way he checks the mirrors and the route that's probably a little longer than it needs to be. Let him navigate. Let him get you somewhere. Let him be the one who gets you there. And on the way, put your phone down. Not for the whole ride if you can't. Just for a few minutes. Look out the windshield at the same things he's looking at. Say something or don't. Both are fine. Both are full of something you are going to want to remember. There's one more video I think you should see before you close this. It's about another small moment, the one that happens every time your mom picks up the phone, about how fast she answers and why, and what that speed has been quietly telling you for years. That video is right there on the screen. If this video moved something in you, stay close. This is what we do here. The time that's still left and what to do with it. Take care of each other.